not excited about the cornerbacks. Talanoa Hufanga is undeniably exciting. He pops off the screen. He hits hard. He's around the ball. He's fun to watch. What do you think?
Yeah, this is a guy I have a little better understanding of because I watched a good bit of him at USC. I heard a little bit that this was a safety that the Niners were interested in, so I was able to watch a little bit more of him. And yeah, you know who he reminds me of?
Who?
A guy who didn't play the same position of him, but to me, he's the safety version of Chris Portland.
I could totally see that.
This kind of guy, who has specific athletic limitations, but he's got this instinctive nose for the football that just gets him all the way, always to the football. And it's impressive. And he's a very sure tackler. Chris Borland was as well. And yeah, and I thought he was impressive, especially for a 6th round pick. He's around the football. He's active. He's a clean tackler. I still think there are limitations to him as an athlete in terms of being able to play in space and being able to play in coverage and all of that. But for a 6th round pick, the way he tackles, I think he's more than a serviceable backup. I think he's a guy that could start. It's definitely exciting.
Yeah, and like people talk about how, can he cover? I don't think he's going to be put in man-to-man coverage situations. He shouldn't be. But in terms of like his ability to play single high or split safety zone, seems like he's got the instincts that are necessary. And not like he's jumping passes. Like he has a good feel for where the ball's going. Like Richard Sherman, for example. That's the difference between a guy like Asante Samuel, who used to just guess, and a guy like Richard Sherman, who seems to know. It seems like, but it's early. Anyway, it seems like this is a guy who could be starting this year if Tart never comes back. Tart, of course, is a better player, a much better athlete. But Tavon Wilson isn't. I'm just saying, Tavon Wilson is a vet, and they could never
have reference. Yeah,
I mean, Tavon Wilson's been around. He looks fine, but Hufanga looks exciting. So this is a very good development for the 49ers.
And
none of the other rookies.
Well,
I'm not going to say
Borland was effective for the Niners when he played. Now, when people said that, if Patrick Willis goes,
I always dogged Borland, but he was good in within his limitations.
Yeah,
he couldn't quite get to the sideline, but between the tackles, my God, he was good.
He was so instinctive.
So good, yeah.
Yeah, and he had a nose for the football, and I think Hufanga's got that same thing, and I think he'll quickly, like Borland, he'll quickly become a fan favorite. I just think that there has to be somewhat of an understanding of what he does well and what he doesn't do well. And in regards to the single high, I know he was put in single high. They went a lot of single high man on 3rd down. I could see that from the broadcast angle. I could see it quite a bit.
With everyone kind of standing around the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. I'd like to wait and actually see the all-22, especially against maybe the 3rd preseason game if he gets a chance to start again, and see how he does and how he covers ground in single high. Because I'm not so sure about him in space. Personally.
Remember though when we had Eric Davis on the show?
Yeah,
and he was like, "Yo, they got to move Richard Sherman to safety," and we were both like, "Yo, but does he have the speed to cover in single high?" And he's like, "I don't even care. Like his instincts will make up for that." And
maybe this guy's like that.
Yeah, well, all I want to say is Hufanga made an interception about a week ago in camp. Rosen threw the ball. I didn't even think it was a bad throw. Like he got all the way outside the numbers and made a high point interception, which is impressive because I've never seen Ward do that. And it's not that Ward isn't good. It's just hard. And I think you really have to break very early. And having 4.4 speed doesn't necessarily make up for that. So just the fact that he did it once in practice makes me feel like, interesting.
Fair enough.
Interesting.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see that. Fair enough.